Hey guys, so on today's episode, we're going to be talking all things singleness, dating yourself, and just finding yourself, finding your voice, and the awkwardness that dating can be. So I have with me Bree.
Hi guys.
So we're going to jump right into it. If you had to describe just the season of singleness to someone, how would you describe it?
I would describe it as the most amazing thing that could ever happen to you. The reason that I say that is because, listen, singleness is like a season of your life. You're probably gonna get married, you're gonna have kids, and that's gonna be your whole entire life. But singleness, it only lasts for just so long. And I think it's just so beautiful, like being single. You could do whatever you want. You don't have to answer to nobody. True. You don't have to like be texting somebody all the time, doing all these things. You could literally just focus on yourself.
So I know that you said that singleness is this great season to be in, but I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it's not that fun. It's not that great of a season to be in, and I think that's also another part that we need to acknowledge. But for somebody struggling in their season of singleness, what is some maybe like tips or tricks or advice you'd want to give to them?
I would say get your relationship with God to be your first priority. I think that when you put Him first, everything else comes along with it, and He fills in any void that you may have of like that want and that desire. Like He knows that we have those desires. Marriage and singleness are both great things. He knows that in singleness, you know, it may be hard, and He knows that we are led to give Him those desires of ours. Like, Lord, I'm single right now. I'm going to get married one day, hopefully, in your mighty name. Hopefully I'm not called to live a life like Paul. But he blesses that. And I think that in those seasons where you're like, dang, I really want to be in a relationship, or like, I'm really struggling with my singleness, I think like putting Him first and just going out with God, just being like, hey Lord, today my main focus is you. Speak to me today. Like, I'm gonna go out to a coffee shop and just read my word, journal a little bit, do different things with Him, because He likes to spend time with us. And I think the beauty about singleness is that we have so much time to just have Him first before we put anything else in that.
Yeah, it's true. And I think something like where you're bouncing off of that last point of we have so much time. I think sometimes we take it so for granted, and we're like, we want this relationship, we want the kids, we want the family, but this is the only time of our lives that we're gonna have like to prioritize ourselves, our relationship with God 100%. Alone, and just build on that, find our own whole identity. Because that's another thing. Make sure you are full in yourself. Yeah. Because once you are in a relationship with someone, you have to make sure you're two whole people choosing each other. And I think that this is the time where you can just like discover that.
Kristen, what are some misconceptions about dating?
So dating and singleness, I think it's always tied to being lonely.
It's good.
I think a lot of times there's this big pressure that, oh, if you're by yourself, you're lonely. When in reality, I think it's when you're in a season of dating and in singleness, you can feel the most alive in community with people. Because you can go into a bunch of different environments and connect with a bunch of people in that season of singleness, as opposed to when you are in a relationship, you could still have that community, but now you're bringing someone else with you, their wants, their dislikes. So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions with dating and singleness.
Yeah, I think also like in the Hispanic culture, there's always like those reunions that you have your family, you're going to, and then your grandma hits you with the
your novio?
Your novio.
Always, it never fails. And you're always just telling them, don't worry, they're coming. Or you hit them with the new one. This is my favorite, it's my go-to. They're coming. They're just taking the scenic route. Yeah, they're on their way. They really like where they're at right now. You know what? Respect. Awesome. Take it all in.
No, for real.
Take it all in. Literally, because when you get over here, you're not going to be taking in that scene no more. You know what I mean? What is something that you don't like about being single?
I think that when you see all your friends being married or they're in a relationship or something like that, you're like, yo, where's my boo thing at?
Yeah. Like, so literally.
Am I on track? Am I like like lacking? Do I need to be dating? Do I need to be doing this?
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I was just going down the rabbit trail of like fertility. This is so random, but I was going down the rabbit trail of fertility, and I was like, hey, fertility starts declining when you're like at 20, like when you're 28, and by 35, it's like
28.
Yeah, it starts declining already.
Pressure.
That's what I'm saying.
My time clock just got moved up a little bit.
No.
I feel like I need to go a little faster.
Do the same.
So, guys, I am looking for a. Just kidding.
But yeah, I was talking about fertility to somebody, and I was like, wow, I have nobody in my life that I even think is like remotely interesting to date. And not to say anything about the people in my life or anything, but
no, I get you.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's nobody that really catches my attention. I'm like, wow, I would really consider dating you or like getting to know you. But you see all your friends and all these people, so you're like, it puts a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, like it's realizing back, like, okay, what season am I in? Like, where does God have me right now? And the answer is probably not. Like, no, you're probably not supposed to be dating in the season. God is probably just trying to develop you, which is what he's been doing in me for the past like few years. Like, God's just been like, focus on me. That's it. Period.
We know that in society there's going to be this pressure that we always feel to do the next thing, to find the next either relationship or job opportunity. So especially in our season of singleness, what would you feel is the best way to maneuver that outside societal pressure that's constantly telling you need to be in a relationship, then you need to get married, then you need to have kids? Like, it's almost like we have like this time clock and like time's running out. So I guess that sense of desperation, what is advice you would give to people with that pressure?
I think you truly have to be content where you are to be able to even block out those outside voices. I mean, it's understanding that, I mean, sometimes people are just very excited for you and they're just wanting to see you move on to the next thing. But at the same time is making them realize like, hey, I'm actually enjoying this season of my life and I'm loving whoever I'm with. I'm loving this dating season. I'm loving this marriage season. We're taking it day by day, and it could be even a moment where you get to teach somebody else like the way that it's supposed to be.
You know that once you get in a relationship, sometimes they don't go into marriage and it ends. It could be a little bit of a messy ending. It could be mutual.
Yeah.
So going from being in a relationship, even long-term relationships, and then jumping back into being single, that can be a difficult season to maneuver. So again, how would you, I guess, help someone go through that season?
I would say first, I think you have to go through the process of like getting over that person. Yeah. Because you've been with them for so long. I always say this, if you're with a person for like a year, it's probably going to take you a year to get over them because you're developing feelings for a person, and those feelings can be very strong. And to get over them, you're not going to just get over it in one day. Yeah. Like, it's going to keep on coming back as you're becoming and learning how to be single again. Those feelings are bound to come back every so often, like, dang.
I miss that person.
I miss
my booty.
Yeah, but it's true. You start thinking about them like every so often. You're like, dang, like it wasn't that bad. And then
it's true. You start to romanticize what you had because you're like, man, it just seems I'm so far from what the next relationship. You're like, okay, but maybe Juan Pablo wasn't that bad.
Right.
I'm letting you know right now, I've never dated a Juan Pablo. If there's a Juan Pablo out there, this is not to you. As we're jumping and like romanticizing the past, I think a lot of times what we have to remember is healing isn't linear.
Right.
It's going to come to you in waves, so we need to allow all those waves to come and to pass completely with that past relationship. So when we enter into the new one, we're not dealing with the waves of our past. We're not dealing with the ties to our past, but we've fully cut that, burned those bridges, and left that in the past so we can enter into the new.
Like, it's relearning, like, singleness. Okay, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to enjoy who I am, because at the end of the day, like, you're not defined by a person. Like, a person doesn't define you. And I think sometimes it's very easy to get lost when... It's very easy to get lost within yourself when you're in a relationship.
We're going to jump into some dating and singleness hot takes and rapid fire questions. So here we go.
3 things in being single that have been easy for you.
Prioritizing God, having fun, being with friends.
Yes.
What is like an adventurous date to you?
An adventurous date to me has to consist of really 2 things. Either a new food I've never tried or an activity I've never done, preferably something like jet skiing or even going on a new hike, walking in a new path, finding a new area to explore. So doing anything new, I would consider as an adventurous date.
That's good. Yeah. I would say anything outdoorsy.
Yes.
Or like anything that you have to like go and think quick. Like I love paddleboarding. I think it's just so fun. It's so cute.
I would need a life vest, but yes.
Relaxed dates. What does that look like? What does that consist of?
I think a great relaxed date, and I feel like it could cost $0 to do it.
Yeah.
Any type of picnic.
Love.
You can get food from your house.
I didn't think of that.
You can get food from your house, literally put it on a blanket, or you can get a pub sub, split it in half, go to the beach, cheap.
Chill.
Or if you want to go more extravagant, you can. I think it just depends on what your budget is. But I think a chill date, a picnic, it could be at the beach, it could be at the park, it could even be in your backyard.
Yes.
Anything like that, I think is.
I didn't even think about a picnic. I was thinking about a movie, but I was like,
that's always good too.
You never want to watch a movie alone. Let's just preface that really quick. Watch a movie in group settings. You know, I think that's a very chill vibe. Like,
I love that.
Bringing on your friends, just watching a movie, chilling, popcorn, you know, whatever it is.
You always
I think
gotta have the snacks.
It's a great date.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Right. Okay, the perfect guy for you specifically. Go.
I got
Glad that you're ready.
I'm not. I'm like, perfect? The guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
Okay, what is the most unattractive thing in a man?
Bad hygiene.
Yes.
Bad hygiene.
Dirt under the nails. I can't do it. Automatically, I will stop liking you.
I agree.
It's like an instinct.
Like you know when you're like, oh my God, they go to give you your hand and there's the black. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I can't do it.
No,
I can't do it.
It's just not it. No. We're just going to leave that
People
at that.
always think that I'm weird because of that.
No, at all.
What questions should you not ask on a first date?
What's your blood type? There's a story behind that. We're just going to jump in really quick. Mind you, this is the first thing. Hey, how are you? What's your blood type? What do you do in your free time? I hate that question.
I think a good question to ask on a first date is like,
what are your values or what are your interests?
Yeah,
I think just getting to know them as asking questions like you're trying to get to know a friend. Don't ask a question like you're trying to get to know your husband or your girlfriend. Get to know them as a friend. Ask normal questions that you would ask anyone. I think just going in with that relaxed energy and not thinking like, okay, I'm trying to find my person instead of I'm trying to get to know the person.
It's good.
I think will just help relax it a little bit.
What's your favorite color?
Yeah.
What's your favorite food? How do you spend time with God? Like,
those are also
that's very important. Like, if the other person that you're going on a date with, like, doesn't have a good relationship with God.
Yeah, you could just, oh man, family emergency, gotta go. If this ever happens to you, this is how you get out of this situation. There you go. Hey,
oh my gosh. What's your blood type?
You need me? Oh, hold on, I gotta get out of here really quick. But it's nice meeting you though.
All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Let's talk about it.